Now, quick disclaimer with this one, it's this is a treat. This is something that you maybe have one of these little guys every now and again, but you know, you have to balance food, and having treats is essential. And if you turn around and try have any particular way eating without them, you're going to fail. It's simple as that. But anyway, I'm using a 70+% dark chocolate and coconut because I'm going to make bounty bars. And what I've got here is about 200 grams of desiccated coconut and a 200 gram block of coconut cream. That's the big one that I suppose in many ways people don't know what to do with it. And I've got about 50 grams of coconut oil. But as I said, I'm going to make a very, very simple little bounty bar, mold them up, little small portions. There's no foods that should really be off the table. It's all about balance. And at least with these guys, again, you know what you're getting. You know that you're getting pure coconut, you're not getting added sugars or whatever manufacturers put into the various things, in particular high fructose glucose syrups and things like that. So anyway, I'll just get on with this one. Oh, and first thing I do is just melt my chocolate because it's a pretty quick wet recipe to do this. Double boiler, and again, getting good quality 70% minimal dark chocolate is key, and not the cheaper milk chocolate. Next thing I'm going to do is, with a nice appropriately sized pot, I'm going to put my coconut oil and my coconut cream. Good idea to chop this one up. It's kind of treated a little bit like you might a big chunk of butter or something like that. Just kind of pop that into your pot. We're going to heat this at a very, very gentle low heat. And then I'm going to put I'm using about a teaspoon of honey, although I'm using a tablespoon, it's about a teaspoon's worth of honey. And it tends to make anything with sugars and things like that, it melts a lot better when you have when you use an inverted sugar. So it stops it curdling and it just kind of smoothens everything out. So I'm just going to let these all warm away there, and just going to mix my chocolate here a little bit, and then all I have to do is then pop my desiccated coconut here into a bowl that's big enough that I can stir everything around, and just have to wait for everything to melt then. So after heating on a nice gentle heat, important that you use a nice gentle low heat because again, this one will burn. That's my little desiccated coconut, my dry ingredient if you like. And here I have my coconut cream, a little bit of honey, and my coconut cream, and a little bit of coconut oil, which just kind of brings it all together. And you'll get this nice milky texture once you allow it all to melt together. And then it's a very simple case of just pouring one into the other. Give it a good stir around, and that is basically your bounty bar filling. And then it's only a case of, when that's well mixed, to shape them. If you had a little kind of a moldy kind of thing, it would work great. Or alternatively, just kind of press it together as well. You want to get this well mixed when it's still a little bit on the warm side as well. And kind of give it a good pressing together, and it'll start to form into a kind of nice little paste. And then it's only a case of forming into a nice little mold. And as it cools down, you can kind of squeeze them together. It's probably best to get your hands in there then and kind of squeeze them together into these little bars when it's all nicely mixed together. And then it's only a case of dipping it into the chocolate and forming it into your little bars. Now, if you do find that your mixture is a little bit on the dry side, as mine is, just add a splash of water, about a tablespoon of water, and that'll just moisten it all out and allow it to kind of form a little bit better. Just about a tablespoon, and if it's still a bit dry, just add another one and so on. But it shouldn't really be that necessary. Bars, what you want to do is get a thing of nice cold water, Now after a little while that will start soaking in that moisture and kind of become a little workable with. So you could use a pair of gloves with this or clean hands and just kind of take your kind of nice little portion of the Bounty Bar and just very simply kind of form it into the little kind of shapes that you might associate. So it's just a case of building those up, kind of a wet hands, because if you don't wet your hands first, what will happen is the whole thing will start to disintegrate a bit and kind of stick everywhere and just become very, very messy. And you have to get doing good kind of a squeeze. So, case of just working your way through those until all the mixture is ready. Put your bars into nice little even pieces. Pop them in the fridge for about at least 30 minutes, just to let those fats and the coconut oil and the coconut cream to harden up again. And that way when they dip into the chocolate, because if you're dipping in it now, they just disintegrate and make a big mess. So let them form up, let them settle for a little while, even up to an hour in the fridge, then come back and it's only a case of dipping them in the chocolate. So finally, chocolate. Now I could dip these, but they're a bit too delicate. So all I'm going to do is take a nice deep spoon, get my chocolate a nice temperature, and then very, very carefully, using the silicone mat, it's great. Just kind of coat them all individually with a nice piece of the chocolate. Very, very simple. And sure, if some of the coconut is showing through, again, it's not a big deal really. But it's better that than with a recipe that kind of breaks apart and things. So, next up I'm going to put those back in the fridge and then keep the last tiny little pots of chocolate just to kind of put a little bit of design on them. So, pop them in the fridge and let them set.